Welcome to this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. I'm Ben Dawson.
And I'm Brant Parsko. Thanks for tuning in.
The Blazers women's golf team came off a successful tournament last Monday, the Bobcat Desert Classic. The team secured a third-place finish, only being bested by fellow WAC opponents in Seattle University and Grand Canyon University. The Blazers had two top 10 finishers, with Mia Shezarik placing fifth and Grace Williams placing in ninth. The team shot 4 under par, which is finishing the round with 4 less strokes than the course average in the tournament, and will begin preparation for the upcoming WAC Championship starting April 18th.
The Utah Tech men's golf team ended their regular season at the UC Santa Barbara Gaucho Invitational on Tuesday. Trailblazers finished 12th overall. KJ Afanagwe posted the first collegiate top 20 individual finish. The team will wrap up the season at the 2024 Western Athletic Conference Men's Golf Championship April 26th through the 28th at the Golf Club at Chaparral Pines in Payson, Arizona. And the PGA, which is the main golf tournament, comes to St. George this October at the Black Desert Golf Course, and then the ladies PGA comes in May. And today started the Masters. They had a delay because of rain and weather, but they are going right now.
Yeah, there's obviously some big tournaments that are going on. Obviously, if you're a golf fan, you know about the Masters. But it is exciting to see that St. George is going to be able to host a tournament, because if you're a golf fan, you kind of want to see golf expanded to where you are. And so if you're in St. George, having a tournament is really exciting.
It does.
The Utah Tech baseball team finds themselves in a 5-game losing streak after a defeat at the hands of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, losing 2-7. The Blazers had 3 errors to UNLV's 0, and the Rebels out-hit the Blazers with 6 more hits, racking up 13 in the game. The Blazers come back to Bruce Hurst Field to kick off a 3-game series against Tarleton, with the first game beginning tomorrow at 6:05 p.m.
On Tuesday, the Trailblazers softball team split a doubleheader with Southern Utah University. In the first game, Utah Tech secured a 5-0 win. Drew McCow and Lauren Lockhart had standout performances, each of which scored points for the Blazers. In the second game, Utah Tech got a taste of their own and was whooped 10-0 in 5 innings. Looking ahead, Utah Tech faces 3-game series against California Baptist this weekend.
All right, so our records aren't looking where we want them to be, but the exciting thing is that we're in the middle of WAC play.
We are.
We have time to turn it around. We have an opportunity to make it into the WAC tournament because it's the top 8 teams that make it. So even if we're the 8th team, we still have a shot at winning.
The men's are in 8th place right now, and the women are still in 6th place from last week. So they are currently in the running for the WAC tournament. They just hope that they can keep their lives.
Obviously.
The Utah Tech track and field team set 2 more program records at the UNLV Elite Meet last weekend. This time it was A.V. Parrington who took the first place in the 3,000 meters steeplechase with a time of 11 minutes and 7 seconds. The relay team set the other program record with a time of 3 minutes and 49 seconds, finishing third. The team is preparing for their next meet, the Southern Utah Coliseum Championship, April 20th in Cedar City.
The Utah Tech tennis team stands at a 6-win and 14-loss record after suffering a defeat at the hands of the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley last Sunday. The Blazers lost the match, winning only 2 sets to UTRVG's 5. The Blazers started hot, grabbing victories in doubles. However, this tennis squad is winless in WAC competition and will close out their last conference game against Seattle University this Saturday at 10 a.m. On another note, football season is creeping up. Head coach Lance Anderson and the football team get ready for the season and adjust to the new coaching and athlete changes. Obviously, our football program saw a total revamp. We have a new head coach, almost a completely new coaching staff. I think we only had 2 or 3 coaches stick around from the last head coach, and we got a lot of transfers in, which is really exciting.
Yeah, we got 18 players signed over the offseason. Some of them were transfers, like you said, and some of them were just incoming freshmen. So I'm happy to see what this new team can do under new supervision.
Definitely. Let's see what Coach had to say.
I think there's a lot of new stuff, and that's just common with a new coaching staff. So, we've got new schemes on offense, defense, special teams. So there's a lot of learning going on, but the guys are really embracing it. I think they're really picking things up. They're getting better all the time. So I love seeing that improvement. And then besides just the X's and O's scheme-wise, we're trying to implement some new things of just, holding guys to a high standard, accountability. And like when I came in, that's what so many of the guys talked about, that they wanted to be held to a higher standard. They wanted more accountability. And so we're doing that too. And it's certainly a learning process, but I think it's pushing those guys to be better. And I think they're excited about that. So I'm excited about where we are. I think the big thing in the spring, so we know it's not all going to be perfect. The first thing, and I keep reminding those guys, the biggest thing that I'm looking for is just effort. I want to see great effort. And we're a little inconsistent right now, and so that's going to be big for me, is if by the end of the spring, we have been more consistent with our effort, of how hard we're playing, how physical we're playing. That's going to be a great measure for me of our success, and if we're going in the right direction. Also, just in terms of scheme-wise, offense, defense, special teams, I just want to see improvement. And I know we're not going to be perfect, but if we're getting better and we're starting to understand the schemes offensively, defensively, special teams better, and we're definitely going in the right direction there. So that's important as well. I think there's going to be a direct correlation there. I think the improvement and progress that we make in the spring will definitely carry over into fall camp. That will allow us to maybe start a little further ahead than what we did this spring. And I think it's going to influence how we play during the season, how we play in games. I mean, the way we practice, the way we execute, the amount of effort that we give, the technique, the fundamentals, the same things you're going to see in practice, you're going to see on the game field in the fall. So that's why we're pushing hard to make sure that we practice with great energy, great enthusiasm. We give great effort, and our execution keeps getting better and better. But I know that'll translate directly to what we see on the field in the fall.
I think it's impossible not to be excited about the football season when you got a coach with that much enthusiasm.
Yeah, and the sun's coming out, it's getting warmer, just means football season is nearing. And springtime is very important during football. It's where you get your mental reps in, it's where you get all the screws tightened, you know? After the break, Sun News guest anchor Annie Meerbrook will be back with your news update.
It's official. Dixie State University is now Utah Tech University. Our Polytechnic focus combines active learning with career readiness in all of our 250 programs. As one of the fastest growing, most affordable, and safest universities in the country, Utah Tech was recently ranked as a top 10 arts and science college. So, join us and experience the difference at Utah Tech University.
Discover the challenge your soul has been seeking, where the lure of triumph rings through time and space, where limits are transformed, champions are crowned, and legends are made. The land of endurance is calling. Rise to it.
One of the longest running traditions on campus, D-Week, is this week. Monday kicked off with Brooks Block Party to support local restaurants, vendors, and live music. Tuesday was the second longest tradition on campus, Trailblazer Queen. Wednesday was Live and Local, featuring 4 student bands. Thursday is the Paint the City Tour. This event collaborates with different businesses throughout St. George, displaying art to the community. Also on Thursday is Trailblazer Awards, taking place at 7 p.m. on the Eccles main stage. Get ready to cheer on fellow Trailblazers at the Great Race on April 12th at 5 p.m. at Greater Zion Stadium. After the race, unwind at the Carnival at the Encampment Mall from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Finally, on Saturday from 8 to 9:30 a.m., the cherished tradition to paint the D on the hill. It's free for all, so bring your friends and family for a morning of fun. Attention all students. Student fees will increase starting the fall of 2024 semester. The university will be increasing tuition by $84 for resident undergrads with an additional $32 student fee. This will make the increase 3.2%. A $22 fee for the student union building will also be added. With the new fee increase comes an increase in faculty and staff salaries. For eligible full-time employees, there will be a 3% base salary increase. This fall upcoming year, there will be an increase of up to $900 per workload credit for part-time employees and overload instruction. This just in, I'm getting word from our producers that as of 2 hours ago, there's been an active shooting at Southern Utah University. The most recent update is that there are no confirmed shots fired. They're still under lockdown, and they haven't been evacuated yet, and police are still searching the scene. And that's all for your news update. After the break, we will be joined by Brant and Ben to discuss their March Madness updates.
It's official. Dixie State University is now Utah Tech University. Our Polytechnic focus combines active learning with career readiness in all of our 250 programs. As one of the fastest growing, most affordable, and safest universities in the country, Utah Tech was recently ranked as a top 10 arts and science college. So, join us and experience the difference at Utah Tech University.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
The University of Connecticut beat the University of Purdue in the NCAA National Championship 75-60 to conclude March Madness this year. Zach Edey had 37 points and 10 rebounds in the national championship for Purdue, but it wasn't enough. UConn is only the 8th team ever to win back-to-back national championships. The last team that did this was the University of Florida in 2006 and 2007. UConn was dominant in their run to repeat the national championship this year. They only trailed for a total of 6 minutes and 22 seconds during the entire tournament. They also won their games by an average of 23 points, with their closest game being a 13-point win against the University of Alabama in the Final Four. Over the entire tournament, there were some incredible upsets, like 13-seed Yale beating Auburn University, 4-seed Auburn University, and 14-seed Oakland University beating the University of Kentucky. The Cinderella story of the tournament was 11-seed North Carolina State University making it to the Final Four. I'm sad to see the tournament come to an end, but I'm excited and can't wait for the tournament next year. All I know is North Carolina State, Yale, and Oakland, all three busted my bracket. So I was so upset. Obviously, you love to see upsets happen. You love to see Cinderella stories, but my bracket was not good this year.
Yeah, my bracket busted the first week with BYU losing that first game. And since then, it just kind of went downhill. I actually had Purdue, UConn, Baylor, and Duke in my Final Four, and I had Duke winning it all. But NC State beat them in the Elite Eight to 75-6. No, sorry. I don't know the score, but South Carolina, for the women's March Madness, they went undefeated and won against Iowa. They were both ranked number 1 going into the matchup. And South Carolina won 87-75. And this is only a handful of teams that have gone undefeated, men and women, so it's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, obviously. We had, I don't know the last time we had a tournament where in both the women's and the men's side, it was a 1-seed versus a 1-seed in both final matchups. Obviously, 1-seeds are there for a reason, but I mean, I feel like every year there's like a random 3-seed or a random 5-seed that sneaks into the national championship. Last year when UConn won, they were a 4-seed. So I feel like, you know, this tournament, it was very unique, but in the end, it was kind of a predictable outcome with the 2 top seeds being the 2 teams that played in the championship. Even though there were all these upsets and, you know, you love seeing it throughout the tournament, it was still the number 2 overall seeds that ended up making it to the championship.
And a fun fact is the women's championship actually got more views than the men's championship, probably thanks to Iowa and Kane Clark and just that undefeated South Carolina team. Like, that's just great. And that is it for this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. Thanks for tuning in.
We will see you here next week for our last show. Same time, same place. Have a great week, Trailblazers.